In the previous lessons, you have seen how you can change the text using jQuery. We simply need the right selector and we need to change the text. So let's do it for this list item over here. It's part of the ID called header bullets. So let's copy that. Go back to our console. It's an ID, so we need the hashtag. Now it's a list item. And as you can see, when I was preparing this lecture, I already wrote this code. Let's type it out. Nth child 2. And want to change the text to this list item has been changed. And here's the new text. Now this is pretty simple. For your A/B tests, it is important to remember that you have to be consistent with the usage of your quotes. So let's do this again, and I'll use the upward arrow. And let's say we want single quotes around the list item. Now this won't work because the browser thinks that this quote over here is the end of this string, and this quote over here starts this new string. So when I hit enter, we get an error message. If you want to use single quotes in the text, we have to use double quotes around the string. So we can replace these with double quotes. Now when I hit enter, the single quotes are applied. Another thing we could have done, let's get the code back, is to use a backward slash to cancel the quote. Like this. And when I hit enter, you see that the quotes are still there, but the backward slash simply is being used in the code to cancel the quote. And if you check out the color of the code, you know if something is working or not. These strings are red. But when you get the ones back that did not work, this one, you see that this part over here is black. So this will not work. Now besides the text, we can completely change the HTML of an element. Let's scroll down and let's use this paragraph over here. So let's get this class. It's the P, and we know that we have to use the nth of type because we learned that in the previous lessons. Now let's change the HTML simply by using the action HTML. And let's write a new paragraph and let's give it some text. Do that a couple of times. Close the paragraph tag and let's make an extra paragraph in here. And close as well. Need a quote, the parentheses, and a semicolon. Let's hit enter. And there we have it. This paragraph has been changed to 2 separate paragraphs and new text. Now here's a nice challenge for you. For a piece of text on your website, change the text and give a few words an underline, a bold, and a color red. So for this challenge, you have to combine jQuery and CSS. You can do this in the developer tools of your website or in your A/B testing tool. Now pause the video and give it a go. Alright, how did that go? I will apply the changes to this piece of text over here. So let's first get the right selector. We know it's part of this column. Let's copy it. Go back to the console. $, parentheses, quote. The class and the paragraph tag. Now we want to change the HTML. And let's state this paragraph has been changed. Nice. Now in order to change the styling of a part of the text, we need a span tag and an ID or a class. So let's create one here. And let's use the ID of a B-test text. And we will close the span right here. Let's copy this for later on. So see how I use the double quotes here instead of a single one, so the code keeps working. Now let's hit enter. And the paragraph has been changed. Now let's go to CSS. Click plus. Use the ID called a B-test text. Let's give an underline. Text decoration. Underline. The font weight of bold, and I hope you remember this or manage to look it up at W3 Schools, for instance. I need the color of red. And there we go, this works. So let's try this out in our A/B test. Let's copy this, paste it in the CSS. Now we need the JavaScript code. Go back to the console. Let's copy this. Now we have to add VWO underscore. And of course, we will use comments as well. And in JavaScript or jQuery, we simply need 2 forward slashes. And we can type anything we want right here. Now let's hit save all variations. Go to the preview mode, which is still right here. Let's refresh. Let's scroll down. And there we have it. This paragraph has been changed with the styling applied.